everybody. We'll get started with the hour. Welcome to the infamous Lunch Without Lunch, the Wednesday meetup hosted by Rainforest Alberta for all innovators, doers, dreamers, connectors, and builders. And so you can follow us on social media at Rainforest AB, that is the Calgary chapter, and we have our friends up in Edmonton at Rainforest YEG. If I didn't say so, my name is Bridget Legault. I'm the community manager down here in Calgary. My colleague Amber should be joining here shortly. So prior to getting started, we'd just like to acknowledge the lands that we work, live, and play upon, which in the Calgary region are the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Tsuut'ina Nakota Nations, the Métis Nation Region 3, and all other people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of Southern Alberta. And for those in the Edmonton area, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional lands of the Treaty 6 territory of the Cree, Dene, Blackfoot, Saulteaux, Nakota Sioux, as well as the Métis. And so if you are tuning in from another area, we rarely get engagement here, but I'd really like to see if you're tuning in from another area, which treaty you are upon, or which traditional, whose traditional territories you're working from today. So we'll see how this works here. Oh, we're not going to play this video today because I did test the audio and it does not work, but I will through my phone. But I will just give a little synopsis of where the rainforest movement came from. So if you're new to the to the event, please feel free to raise your digital hand or your real hand so we can say hi, and please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. This movement has been around since about 2015-ish, when some folks in the tech sector read the book, The Rainforest, Building the Next Silicon Valley. And this book is a very deep analogy about how tech ecosystems are like actual rainforest. And I also always like to make mention that the term ecosystem, as we all use it today to describe this scaffolding supporting the startups and scale-ups in our area, is a term that was coined by one of the co-authors. And so of the book, his name is Greg Horowitz. So the research around tech ecosystems has all stemmed from his work, which is interesting. Check out the book if you haven't already. It's older research, but always relevant. And so we like to think of this rainforest of being made up of these 6 pillars, which are all weighted differently. Here in the rainforest, we really like to beat the drum on this culture pillar, being the foundational pillar of the ecosystem. Of course, we have leaders, we have resources, engaged activities such as this, and we always need that policy and infrastructure for a bit of guardrails around our wild and woolly rainforest, and role modeling behavior as well. And so we measure these pillars every year, and that time of year is approaching. We will be releasing the 2023 scorecard survey right after the Christmas holidays. We're really excited about the team we have working on the analysis this year, so watch for more information on that in the coming weeks. So just some quick tips to make use of this hour. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, whether you're new or have been around the rainforest a while. Feel free to share in the chat or in the breakout rooms later what you're working on or what you need help with. We're all here to give back to the community as per our social contract, which is actually something I skimmed over, having missed the video. If you haven't signed the social contract, we'll put the link in the chat. It's the 10 values that we all agree to live by. It basically says you will be a good person, and you'll give back to the community and continue to support this diverse community that we all work within, or maybe are curious about working within. If you don't currently, that's fine too. Put your camera on if you can. Eat your lunch if you can. We don't want you to get hangry. Please feel free to be engaged with our panelists today, or our speakers today coming from the university. We're really excited to have them. And we also have our digital community called Powered by Inkly, where you can ask questions and connect there. I'll make mention that there are about 40-ish, I think, SAIT students who have recently engaged with our Inkly platform, the Digital Rainforest. They've been on there asking questions about the movement, what it means, how they can get involved. So even though the questions have, some have been up for a week or so, please feel free to head in there and help shepherd these new students within the ecosystem. So we do always record these sessions, and we put them on our YouTube channel if you'd like to check it out later. There's the social contract. All right, there's the 10 values that we all agree to work, live, and play by. And so I'll just let that QR code sit for a quick moment. If you haven't signed the social contract, please do so right now. You'll then get an email about how to onboard onto the digital community. I mentioned as well, we do still have a Slack channel alive and well, just because everyone seems to live on Slack in the tech space. So there's room for conversation and sharing there as well. And here is a QR code that will take you directly into Inkly if you're excited to do so, and we hope you are. We're near the end of our pilot with Inkly here, actually, in the next couple of months. So we'd like to get some increased engagement on the platform. This is really a place to express your curiosities. If you're building a company, if you're looking for investment, if you're looking to pivot into a career in tech, this is where you can get your answers really quickly from folks who have been there. Lastly, I'll just mention, I don't have a slide here, unfortunately, but we'll share it at the end of the hour, perhaps. We are hosting an event for Innovation Week. It will be the launch of, there we go. It'll be the launch of Innovation Week on November 15th. So the very first day of Innovation Week. That's going to be a really exciting day because we have Indigitech happening from 9 to 3 p.m., which will be featuring all sorts of inspirational Indigenous founders and contributors. That Lunch Without Lunch, we will be in person only on November 15th at the KPMG Ignition Center in Platform. So we'll just head up from the Indigitech day up there for some socializing at lunch, back down for Indigitech, and then there's a great event happening around all the scale-up programs that afternoon, and then it's Discover the Tech Sector with Rainforest Alberta. We will have City, Platform, Calgary, Inclusity, and some partners at SAIT exploring on-ramps and opportunities to pivot into the tech sector through entrepreneurship or tech careers. And so this is for all your curious friends and families who wonder what the heck you do in this innovation space, or maybe they've always wondered about pivoting into a career in tech. This is a great way for them to come explore, and it will be very fun and interactive. So that is 4:30 on November 15th. I will get the link for it in the chat. However, it's the same registration page that you find Lunch Without Lunch on. So look for that there. Alrighty. So I am going to stop talking. I'm going to turn it over to our friends from the UFC who are with the student side of the UCeed Fund. Without me butchering it, I will pass it over to our speakers and let them share more about the fund. There's lots going on at Innovate Calgary, and this might demystify some of it for us. So sorry, my son's saying it's time for me to go. I got to kick him out of the. Okay, I'll let you out in a sec. So are you folks ready to present, Taylor? Good, awesome. I can't hear you if you have unmuted.
I think we should be good. Can everyone hear it?
Awesome. Okay, great. I will mute and let you take it away.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, Bridget and Rainforest Alberta community for having us today. My name is Ivy. I'm here alongside Taylor and Alicia, and we're a part of the UCeed Husky Student Fund, which is a philanthropically funded student-run venture capital. And we're super excited to talk about our fund today. So our focus is supporting early stage ventures. So what UC does is that they identify and support the best ideas and innovation through the earliest stages of their development. So this is by making pre-seed investments in the next generation of ideas and entrepreneurs, linking investees with programming partners and resources to bridge the gap between innovation, demonstration, and commercialization, as well as providing business development advice, support, and programming to help companies become investor ready more quickly through a network of partners. So we have 4 different families within the UCeed Fund. So we have the Health Fund, which launched in 2020, as well as the Student Fund, which also launched in 2020, the Social Impact Fund that launched in 2021, and the Energy Fund that recently launched in 2023. So UCeed has $22 million of capital under management, and 43 investments were made to date for $5.7 million. And UCeed is one of Canada's most active early stage venture capital funds in the country. So the student experience. So we are the Western Canada's first university private equity venture capital managed fund for the students. It's an evergreen fund co-investing in top startup companies alongside experienced angel and seed fund investors. We are a unparalleled experiential learning opportunity with world-class curriculum architectured by the Huskian School of Business. The professional oversight and coaching and deal flow provided by Innovate Calgary, a part of the UCeed Fund program, as well as our partnership with the CDL Rockies. And the UCeed Student Huskian Fund is developing Canada's entrepreneurial private equity leaders for tomorrow and creating sustainable economic opportunities for Calgary and beyond. And I'll now pass it on to Alicia.
Yeah, so in terms of why a student venture fund, we are the first one in Western Canada. However, there are a few other within Canada as well as within the States that provide students with a safe learning environment in order to actually connect the theory we learn in the classrooms about startups, entrepreneurs, and investing in pre-seed and Series A through actual investments. Increases engagement level by having a 2-year program where we are able to take our in-classroom learnings and apply them to our actual deals and investments. And it enables a personalized learning experience for all students involved. And then in terms of our current portfolio for the UCeed Huskian Student Fund, we have invested in 6 companies since 2020 with average check size of 50K Canadian. So starting off with Cohesic, they provide decision intelligence to physicians and healthcare executives using data science. For Innovere Medical, they actually were the first wireless TV to operate inside an MRI scanner to make patients more comfortable. For Cadence, they're hoping to help families, funeral homes, and estate professionals to navigate estate settlement processes online. For Mach 32, it is an intramuscular auto-injector device that is a partnership between an emergency room doctor and an engineer. For Know-How, it's a platform for trade service industries to simplify their onboarding, trading, and problem solving through an on-the-job site. And then for 3E Nano, they're reducing energy consumption through nano-thin window coatings. And then in terms of our investment criteria for the UCeed Huskian Student Fund, we are industry agnostic, although most of our investments so far have been in the healthcare industry, but it is based on students' interest. We look at startups that are based in and serving North America. We now have a mandate where it is a 50K Canadian check size for all investments. And we do require a lead investor to lead the funding in order for us to invest. And I will now pass it off to Taylor to go more in depth for the student fund.
Awesome, thanks, Alicia. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about kind of the background of UCeed and what we do, but we want to dive into a little more of the details here. So first of all, we're a $1.1 million fund that operates in an evergreen structure. So we were founded and funded philanthropically from a variety of private investors throughout the Calgary ecosystem primarily, who share a mission to help us students become the future of venture capital within the industry. So yeah, our objective as a fund is to build our student knowledge and experience in startup investing through experiential learning. So we're taking lots of the stuff that we're learning in the classroom and we're really applying it by being able to write actual checks, do actual due diligence, and meet with actual startups. So our fund was launched in September of 2020. And since then, we've made 6 investments, as we kind of went over. We're targeting the 2 to 4 investment per year range, once again, with that standard $50,000 check size. We want all of our capital to be deployed over the next 7 years or so to be able to return the funds back into the fund within that evergreen structure, to be able to benefit not only our cohort with the learning and growing that we're doing, but also future cohorts of the UCeed Huskian Student Fund to come. So as far as who is supporting us with this fund, we have a variety of great partners within the industry, and we're always open to new mentorship as well. As far as fund management and admin support, Innovate Calgary is huge. We have a variety of different mentors and individuals who are passionate about helping us learn about venture capital and supporting us on our journey. The Haskayne School of Business is the foundation of our course and our curriculum, and how we learn about venture capital and are able to apply it. We also have some syndicate partners. As we mentioned, we do need a lead investor on the same term sheet for all of our investments. So CDL Rockies and some of the other UCeed funds have been awesome for being able to form syndicates with. And finally, we also have a great panel of advisors through our UCeed Investment Advisory Group. These are all industry professionals who have participated in the fund before or have some great expertise outside of the fund who are able to mentor us and guide us through our investments. So just kind of as a summary, we have some of those same things, just our fund size, check size, investments. But one thing I really want to emphasize on this page is our focus on diversity. So not only do we want to focus on a variety of different founders, we also want to look at different technologies, industries, geographies. Within our fund, we also have some great diversity within the team itself, from both undergraduate to graduate students, backgrounds from engineering to health sciences to business itself. We're all about learning about each other's strengths and weaknesses and kind of filling in the gaps that way. And I think that venture capital is such a great way to emphasize diversity by being able to look at different technologies and see how different people think, and be able to solve problems for not only Calgary, but around the world as well. So our primary objective as a fund is to create a long-term, best-in-class student education and learning experience at the University of Calgary. This is something that not a ton of other universities have gotten yet, so we're really lucky to be able to participate in this opportunity. However, alongside that main objective, there's a ton of other benefits, such as being able to teach entrepreneurship through exposure to creative destruction labs and some of the UCeed startups. We're able to connect with students of other faculties. I'm an undergraduate student, but now I have a ton of other friends who are MBAs or engineers or in health sciences. We're also able to build and connect a high quality network of UCalgary alumni. As we kind of mentioned, this fund was founded in 2020, and since then we've had about 60 alumni go through the program and are now out in the industry and still able to mentor us and bring back their roots to the UCeed Haskayne Student Fund. Finally, we also want to seek to build positive returns in the fund that can be returned to UCalgary. Within that evergreen structure, we always want to be learning and growing and being able to enforce that for other generations to come as well as they go through the fund. So this is our current team. We're divided into 3 primary streams based on Creative Destruction Lab's strategy. So we have agriculture, energy, and prime. And as you can see, we're really proud to have a very diverse team, both ethnically, gender, ages, backgrounds, all that kind of stuff. And it's been really great to learn with all the members of the team here. And then finally, we also want to give a huge thank you to our investment advisory group, which is a great team of professionals who have a variety of different backgrounds and are able to support us in all of our decisions. So as students, we begin our process by sourcing companies, entering due diligence, and then writing an investment memo. And once we're ready to potentially make an investment, we bring the memo to this team of individuals who are able to give us their professional guidance and support us in any additional due diligence that needs to be made before we write a formal check. So that was a little bit about UHSF and what we do. However, we're more than open to questions or connecting further. If you have any startups in mind that might be good investments for us, if you want to mentor us, if you're just interested in talking about innovation, we are more than happy to continue this conversation. But we really want to thank you for the time today, and it was great to share.
Awesome. Thank you all. I have to give a shout out to you 3 because I had the pleasure of meeting you at Venture Forum last week over lunch when I ran in late after lunch without lunch, and asked if they'd like to present today. And in less than a week, we were able to prepare and be here today and share this impactful program at UFC. It's pretty cool considering I don't know who in university even knew about how to become involved in venture capital. Not me. Raise your hand if it was you. I know we have questions. We always have lots of questions. So feel free to unmute Pete if you want to go first.
Hi, great presentation. Brilliant group of young people here. So this is fantastic. And thanks for setting this up. Can I ask how you determine valuations?
That's something that we learn a lot in our first year in the fund. We go through a variety of different ways to determine valuations, especially with the pre-seed and seed stage companies that we're looking at. They're pre-revenue. It's really hard to determine what their valuation is. So we have a variety of different methods, from discounted cash flows to comparables. But we also look at kind of some past resources that we have and look to some of our mentors to help us out. Yeah, I think it's kind of a learning process for every different startup that you go through, because it can really depend on industry and what their product is, and what stage they're at as well. But yeah.
You're hoping to get your money back in 7 years with a bonus, obviously.
We aim for 10x returns. If we get 10x returns on one of our investments, that'll be good. But yeah, it's roughly a 7-year time horizon.
Thank you.
All right, Jen, do you want to unmute?
Yeah, thanks. Bridget said, oh, it's a toque day, and I just ran in. So from outside, it's freezing. So I kept my toque on. But hi, Taylor. It's nice to see you again. We met before. Thanks for the presentation. I really love what UCeed is doing. Now, speaking to someone from UCeed at the Startup Canada event, and I'm wondering from your perspective, what are some gaps that you're noticing or opportunities for companies? Like, one of the comments made was they're having a hard time finding companies coming out of the university because some of the postdocs not necessarily want to make that commitment to enter into the business world. I'm just wondering if that's true across, or if there's other gaps that you're seeing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that one of the gaps that we really try to fill in with our fund is kind of on that diversity aspect in a variety of ways. We see that lots of female-founded companies aren't getting nearly as much funding as their male-founded counterparts, as well as companies who are coming straight out of universities in comparison to those who are coming out of larger institutions. So I think as students, we kind of bring a bit of a different perspective, that everybody's ideas are equal, and it's a lot more about the technology than who's founding it or what their backing is. So I think that that's kind of a traditional VC perspective, that certain founders might have a better idea, or certain demographics might be more VC backable. However, we're kind of breaking down that norm, and we're really looking at the technology objectively rather than kind of who's behind it. I don't know, Alicia and Ivy, if you have any other gaps that we're kind of filling as well.
I think for me, like, the gaps in between is just the venture capital space in Calgary is very limited, and I think it's more so just the communication and reaching out to those people in the space, or finding where we can find those the startup companies. I think that's the biggest issue for me at this point in time, and just going to the startup TNT events and going to a lot of the venture capital spaces or events happening in Calgary has helped out with that. But having something that's more clear line and streamlined in connecting the startups and UC together would be is something that I've noticed. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, interesting perspective. Any other questions, everyone?
Yeah, sorry. My name is Gerald. Thanks for the presentation. Yeah, I'm actually new-ish kind of thing. Is this focused only to students? Oh,
And I'll take that, Gerald. And I also just saw, Jeff, your question in the chat is very similar. So the startups we focus on don't have to have a requirement of being students or through the university. We as a fund are able to look at absolutely anything that's within North America. So it doesn't need that prerequisite of being student related for the ventures that we look at. Although there has been a few that I've come across that it's interesting to see that the founders for these startups were University of Calgary alumni, or they're doing research through the University of Calgary. It isn't part of our mandate to solely select based on the fact that they're student or through the University of Calgary startups. If that clarifies your question.
It does. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So yeah, we can look at anything.
That's good.
Awesome. Any other questions from the audience? Okay. Oh, and someone's just signing off. Okay, no problem. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Now, you know, we have this understanding and can share with the broader community as well. And of course, the recording will be available on YouTube after this. If anyone wants to go back to it or wants to connect in with Innovate Calgary about other programming, feel free to reach out to myself or our speakers today, or Jen is representing the Calgary Innovation Coalition, which involves kind of a lot of the program partners in the city. So just for context, if folks were unaware. Now we will head into some smaller groups just to have some smaller discussion around the presentation, whether it be investment, venture capital, what they're working on, what you might need help with, and you know, whatever else might come up for you, how you're staying warm today. I have signed on to my laptop here so I can do breakouts. That's something you can't apparently do on the phone. So give me one quick moment. Wasn't this strange? There is no, am I seeing no breakouts here either? I'm logged in as host. What the heck? Okay. Huh. Very strange, guys. Sorry, bear with me one sec here. Well, it's very odd. Unfortunately, I do not have the setting. There is a new AI companion on Zoom, if you cared to know. So maybe what we'll do instead, because we are somewhat of a small group here, we can just kind of popcorn style go around the room and introduce each other, or ourselves rather, not each other. We could introduce someone else if that's what you'd like. So who would like to start? And maybe something that you're working on and something you'd like to, that you might need help with, and something you'd like to offer to the community. Don't be shy.
Pete LaFontaine here. I'm been a long time champion of the rainforest from pretty much the beginning, and I'm also chairman of Rainforest Energy Corp, which is a different business altogether. We're making turning agriculture and forest waste into a new green fuel, building many factories across Western Canada, and we're doing that in cooperation with Indigenous communities throughout the West as well. Thanks.
Peter, while you have the mic, are you able to speak of the collaboration with Peer Guidance and Collectively Tangled, so we can maybe share that resource with everyone?
Oh yeah, that was exciting. We just did a mental health day with Collectively Tangled and the two entrepreneur ladies that work with the rainforest, and then Peer Guidance is also part of what I'm part of. I got 4 or 3 other partners. So yeah, we had a mental health day for entrepreneurs, and then now we're offering a free. We're going to do more of these sessions, by the way, so stay tuned on it. But we also offer a free kind of office hours advisory to those entrepreneurs that are looking for help and services and ideas on how they might grow and scale their business.
Awesome.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Hey, Pete, why don't you just name somebody you see on the old polka dot door and they can go next. And then everyone can take turns doing that.
Before Pete does that, can I add something to his comment?
Sure.
And it has something to do with rainforest, of course, but Collectively Tangled did a really nice podcast on leaders, innovators, and big ideas. So if anybody wants to check that out, it's available.
Fantastic. For those who don't know, Rainforest runs a volunteer ran podcast, and so you can volunteer to be a guest or a host on that podcast. It's a great way to build your own personal brand and get to know others in the community, build those relationships via a public conversation, which is always fun. Val does a lot of that, so thanks, Val.
What do you do,
Val,
Alicia?
yeah, there we go. Alicia?
Good. My name is Alicia. I'm a co-founder of Simple AR, and we bring augmented reality to experiential marketing. So essentially doing really fun stuff with AR that's easy to adopt and deploy. And we're building our own platform as well. So we're in our pre-seed round of fundraising. So anybody who's in marketing or event production, if you want to chat, I'm your girl. Really enjoy this community. I really felt like I needed some community last week, and chatted with Sarah over chat, and now we're having coffee today. So go Rainforest community.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
hearing that.
So what I'm looking for is a connection to angel investors that think augmented reality and live events marketing is an interesting space to be in, and willing to offer puppy pets. I have a puppy that's bothering Sarah right now, and walk and springboard. I'll give you an hour of my time and you can cry or ask questions or whatever you want to do. That's me. So tag
Fantastic.
Sarah, you're it.
Unmute, Sarah.
All right, I'm here. Yes. So yeah, what an incredible community. Just to echo that. Thanks, you guys. So Sarah Carmichael, Bees and Honey Creative. I do marketing for companies who don't have a marketing department. So I've been in the tech space for a long time, working with communities in the Calgary market, as well as actually most of my clients are outside of Calgary. So that's why I'm trying to get connected here again. Yeah, so what I would offer is if you have, any marketing questions, please come chat with me and I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. Awesome. Let's go. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Let's go to Val because she was chatting earlier.
Got to make sure to take my mute off. So yeah, Val McCarty, Steve Biz Assist. Just got myself certified as a grant writer this spring. So a new turn in a new portion of my career. Yeah. I would flatter myself to say it was midlife change. But glad to be here. Love Lunch Without Lunch. There's always such a variety of people that show up and they've all got something to say and they're all working on really cool projects. So it's a fun place to be, Lunch Without Lunch. So I would just say invite your friends to come because it's one wonderful way to meet new people and get to know about the tech and innovation industry in Calgary, which is booming, by the way. Mm-hmm. And do I get to pick somebody else?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to pick on my business partner, Stephen Labor.
I knew you'd do that, Val. Thank you. Well, here's what I got to say. There's a lot of exciting things happening here in Calgary. We encounter them constantly. Amazing new projects, new software or products that are being developed. And yet nobody knows about it. The media seems to want to focus on oil and gas, its ups and downs, but nobody's really giving credit to the great innovation that's happening here in the city. Groups like Rainforest definitely are helping to promote the new innovation. But I think more needs to be done. I think the Calgarians need to be aware of what's going on in the city and some of the great things and the great companies that the city is spawning. So that's my words for today.
All right, go ahead and name someone else, Stephen.
Sorry?
Somebody
go
else.
ahead and name the next person.
Oh, yes, okay. I'm going to name Gary Gunthorpe.
Well, hello, I'm Gary, and I've been in the tech sector in Calgary for 45 years or more. I've been in Rainforest, probably 200 meetings. It's the best meetup, the best group in the tech sector that I've ever seen in Calgary. And there's been at least 3 tries at doing something similar that faded away. So yeah, I supposed to be retired, but haven't figured out how to do that. So I've been helping out companies that need some guidance or answer some questions or whatever. Mainly my background is hardware based, either with electronics in it or just straight mechanically stuff that has to get manufactured and sold, not a one-off type arrangement. So my time is free. Well, you may have to come and meet me for coffee, but I'll provide the coffee. So right now I'm looking at investing, big mistake, but at my age, but investing in a new VC that's looking very exciting. It's partly based out of India, partly based out of Israel, and centered here. It's I keep talking myself into it and talking myself out of it. So if anybody wants to tell me how to make that decision, I'd sure appreciate it. I'm
Talk
done.
to Taylor
Thanks.
and Alicia. Yeah, talk to Taylor and Alicia.
You've got great instinct, Gary.
Well, Gary's done, but I see another Gary T. I don't know if we've met. You want to go next?
Oh, hi, yeah, Gary, Sarah South. Yeah, we're from a startup here in Calgary. We're trying to do some download tools for oil and gas well inspections and checking for leaks and finding more economical ways to solve problems, future problems. Yeah, I kind of missed the first start of the presentation, but that's the that kind of the guy in the office doing some of the technical work. It's you got to work when you got to work. But yeah, so been involved with this for a couple of years, and then yeah, just trying to get into the more startup tech ecosystem in Calgary, because it looks like we're finally in a good direction and getting sort of slowly starting to get ahead of the ball and what future job and corporations want in the city.
Awesome. Thanks, Gary. What do we have left here in my small, tiny little screen? Faraz, do you want to go next?
Hey, sure. Yeah, so I'm Faraz. I'm the CEO of Expense Trend, and we launched a web dashboard. It's a personal finance dashboard that categorizes your expenses and helps people better answer questions about their personal finance health. And ultimately, our goal is to help save people money. And I'm just looking for more people to try it out and give me feedback so we can provide more valuable features for them.
I'll try it out. Faraz, if you want to post that in our community Slack channel too, you might get some testers there. If you're not in it, just reach out.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Who can you name someone next for us?
I think I saw V here. Yeah, V, did you want to go next?
Hello.
Hi,
Yeah, I'm got something for Stephen, Val, maybe David as well. Just some opportunities, business opportunities. If you can get a hold of me, you got some capacity, just give me a call. Other than that, I'm a first-time startup founder developing some software, and I'd like some encouragement. Going through this has been really I just want to choke myself. This is right here, right now. Finding a software provider was fun, but I found the wrong one. Paid him a bunch of money. Now I'm looking for the next one. I think I found the next one. I've got more money, and I got to carry this significant amount of debt for a fairly long period of time, not knowing whether anyone is actually going to want to use this software. So I'm looking for some encouragement. I know Jen's on here. You've been going through this for the last couple of years. Help.
Anybody want to pipe in?
I did a little bit of consulting before. So if you need me to vet your next developer or you have any questions, you can let me know and I can take a look.
Yeah, V, we should do it with peer guidance as well. I got 4 partners there that maybe we could get together and have a coffee and have a chat too.
Thanks, Faraz. Thanks, Pete. I'll do that.
Vetting devs, that might be a good job in the city, actually. Everybody struggles to go with local versus offshore versus, you know, whatever, a combo with a product person here and devs off. I was just talking to someone about this, so seems to be a challenge of many, maybe a point of conversation for another lunch without lunch.
Yeah, or picking the right space or picking the right customer base. I mean, there's a bunch to it, right? It's if everybody could do it, it was easy, we'd be all
Yeah.
we wouldn't be on this call.
Yeah, good point. I think we have is it Tashina?
Tashina, yeah.
Might not be on her.
Walking the dog.
And
I
then
can go.
Gerald? Okay, Jen, sorry, Jen. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I just thought I'd jump in. I am, my name is Jennifer Jensen. I am filling the large shoes of Court Ellingson at the Calgary Innovation Coalition. And I've been doing that for, gosh, like over 1.5 years now. And right now we're working on an incredible project to Steve, I think it was your point, assessing Calgary's ecosystem. And so we're looking at gaps and opportunities and working on a research project. And so a lot of you will be hearing from us as we are looking at taking a stakeholder approach, hearing the unusual or non-usual voices, and just really trying to get an understanding and clear picture of Calgary's startup innovation landscape across 12 pillars. And so I'm really, really excited about that, so that we can perhaps share those stories with our city, region, province. And so, yeah, what I ask, I don't know. I just, I'd love to, yeah, connect with everyone on LinkedIn and just continue to have really great conversations. I appreciate everyone just showing up, and I learned so much at these events. So thanks, Bridget, and thanks everyone for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Jen, for coming. It's great insight. If you need triaging or, you know, help wayfinding the system, Jen knows all. Who else do we have?
How about Fakamanju?
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very well. I mean, I've been trying to just expand my network. I recently moved to Calgary, and that's why, like, I try to be a part of this community. And this is my first time here, so I was just like quietly in the background trying to observe things. But yeah, I'm just here, and I'm here. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to network with everyone. And thanks to the team that set this up. I mean, it's very useful for those of us that are finding things out. I used to be a product manager with HP, managing the EMEA team. And my wife wanted to get an opportunity to move to Calgary. And I got like moved around from Dubai to negative 9-degree zone. So I'm happy to be here. So,
This is just the start.
exactly. And this is my first winter, and so far so good. Let's stay like that. Let's say that.
From plus 40 to minus 40. Welcome.
You know.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a heat wave here.
I'm sweating.
If you need any support learning how to layer your clothing properly for Calgary and Alberta, how to store your shoes in your backpack so it doesn't get everything else wet, you can switch when you get to work, we can help you with that.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, at least we have Chinooks here, so you'll experience those. Hopefully those don't affect you physically, because they do many. But it does warm up throughout the winter sometimes for a few hours. Do we have everybody? Did everybody have a chance now? I have all these screens in my control car center here.
Yeah, I have I'm just gonna jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, man, I'm just
Gerald, thank you.
I'm kind of slightly with the gentleman that just spoke. I moved out here from not Dubai, I wish, but from BC. So I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be your best winter that you experience. I mean, it's gonna be winter when it comes to winter. This is this is it, you know. You get snows and chills and all that stuff, right? It all comes with a package. But for me though, I really appreciate Rainforest and then the lunch with our lunch. It's just that I work, I'm in cybersecurity. Um, my struggle is just trying to be able to fit in time to be here. I haven't been able to make it, but I'm glad that I'm in here today. For some of us that have a very dim light, being around folks like you, well, hopefully spark or ignite something. That's just part of reasons why we're here. When I was in BC, I tried to work on something. It's a service, it's a free service. I think some companies doing it in Montreal area or maybe back east. It's just mostly when you move, people move around. Someone like me has moved from, I'm from BC to Calgary. You have to change your addresses and all that stuff with the bank or with the CRA or with the doctors and all that stuff. Having a central place that you can just go in and have all that done and make some API calls and change your addresses without having to remember everybody to change address with, or have to communicate with them to change your addresses. It makes life easier. But again, it's going to be a free service. I haven't really strapped up to focus on it, but it's just something that I'm working on. But yeah,
Cool.
I mean, I'm always glad to be amongst folks like you.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Gerald. And for anyone working on something kind of in the earlier stages,
How
do
about
check
David?
out platform.
David
sorry.
didn't say anything. Sorry.
Okay,
David.
sorry, just 1 second, Pete. I just want to make a plug for this because it seems a lot of people are in the same stage. Platform Calgary has early stage programming to help you do the proper customer discovery, so you don't make the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make, which is hoping people want your product when you think it's a great idea, but the market might not. So the discovery program just started last Monday night, or this Monday night. So it's only been one session out of, I think it's a 4-part session, but you might be able to still hop in on week 2. So just check out Platform Calgary Discover program. You might be able to sneak in there if you're working on an early stage idea. Perfect. Or contact an advisor there. They have free sessions one-on-one. David, last but certainly not least.
Yeah, Dave Wally. I'm a longtime coder and tech consultant. Currently, I'm working with a Calgary restartup, and I wonder how many restart ups there might be in Calgary. So these guys had a good idea in 2018, produced software, presented to investors, and sold the company. But the new buyers lost track of the original idea. They got hooked into the NFT craze. And so the product was half of the original idea and half NFT. And of course, the whole NFT idea went south. But the original idea is still there, and it's still a good idea. There's no legal constraints against doing it again because everything is in the public domain. It's just an idea that they had. And so I just wonder how many other projects have good ideas 5 years ago, maybe went off the rails because of personnel issues or probably software issues. That's a common cause, I think, or legal issues, or who knows what the issues are. I wonder how many good ideas are still out there that just need a little polishing up. Anyway, that's what I'm working on code for a restartup.
Awesome. Thanks, David. All right. So
a quick note.
Go ahead.
Gary, I put a link, I put a message in the chat. We should talk.
Yeah, sounds good.
You know, to
All
say
right.
that there's a famous entrepreneur in town here that owns the David Workland event or building up at the university, and he built his company and sold it twice. So he built it, sold it, and then bought it back for pennies on the dollar and sold it again. Yeah, and that was in the I was in the soil remediation space. Tervita was the name of the company he sold to Secure Energy. So he's filthy rich and happy. And anyway, it happens.
Right on. Maybe he wants to throw some money at UCeed. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. That was certainly a different style of lunch without lunch, but fun nonetheless. We haven't missed anyone, have we? I'd hate to do that. I don't think so though. Oh, Eva's jumped on. Eva, are you there?
Hi, yes, I am. I'm sorry, I just joined late. Is this the main room?
Yeah, this is the extra large breakout room where everyone's just sharing, you know, what they're working on, what they might need help with, and what they have to offer.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry I missed that. I think I know a lot of the people there. They know what I'm up to. I'm actually in the GrowthX accelerator right now. So knee deep in business, plus, you know, looking forward to where we're positioning for the future. It a lot of work, a lot of excitement. But we're going to be probably hosting another event in November. So maybe next week I'll catch up with you and let you know when it is and who's speaking. It's just came back from the hydrogen event in Strathcona County. So lots of things happening there. But I'm also going to be attending shortly. I'm on my way soon to next gen in construction. So that's going to be very interesting in terms of what they see and what they're doing. Also focused in higher learning. So I know you're going to be wondering how does that tie in, but it does in terms of our game plan. But those are the two areas that right now we're focused in. So if anyone is looking at the construction area or looking at higher learning, you know, connect with me. We can have another conversation on that. And Gary, yes, we're still on the same track. It's just that I've done competitive analysis on North America and discovered a lot of very interesting changes within the last 6 months, major changes. Yeah, major. And it all has to do with catching up with technology, what to adopt, what not to adopt, and where everybody's positioning. And it's really interesting. The competition isn't local. The competition for every one of you in this room is global. Like EU is moving into the US is moving into Canada. And there's a lot of horse trading going on right now, which is very interesting to watch. So that's what I'm sharing with the group today.
Nice, cool insight. Awesome. Okay, well, thanks everybody for the impromptu roundabout there. Full disclosure, I did find how to log in a different way to get the breakout rooms going, but that so in the last 5 minutes of this hour, we generally do community announcements. I want to get a bit of a pulse on people though. You know, we always see a lull in numbers in the summer. Of course, everybody's out and about. And yet usually in September, we see a sharp increase in participation, and we haven't this year. It's not surprising because there are a plethora of events happening.
Oh,
I imagine
it turned into a robot.
Yeah, you're freezing on us, Bridget.
I think she was saying that there has been a plethora of other events and competition things that are going on because the ecosystem is expanding. So there's a lot of seeking people's time and doing these types of things. So
that's very true. That's very true.
we should tell other people though that are interested in this type of ecosystem or looking for help, that offer help. You know, this is a great place to show up every noon. It's just a great time. Oh, not every noon, but every Wednesday for Lunch Without a Lunch. It's a great event and a very great place for connecting.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better, much better.
Okay, I'm not sure if you can hear the echo.
Oh, we're losing you again, Bridget.
Lost you again. If I could just fill some of the time, I think people want to get outside or get out of their house, I guess I should say, and go to live events these days. But there are some of us, like myself, who are at a distance and really appreciate the Wednesday video chat. I would like to see both continue. I know there was some discussion about which one should be focused on, but I really like the hybrid meeting idea, and I think Rainforest is getting better at doing the hybrid meetings. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
I like that, David. I support that comment because I'm in Edmonton some of the time, and when I'm in Edmonton, I can meet up with you guys. When I'm in Calgary, then I can as well. But it's great if you're not a Calgarian to be able to attend these events.
Yeah, I'm in Edmonton as well, Val, and so but I do get out to Edmonton. That's where I'm going now physically because I like the online. I think it's very important because you get rapid response. You don't have to sort of find someone in a room. But I'm going to an event now when I want to get more in depth to know the people that you won't get just sort of across the Zoom because you're in an audience. So it's kind of more of a one-on-one networking. And I find that sometimes people are a little bit more forthcoming with their comments because they're not being recorded. But I like the online events because otherwise I can't get to Calgary all the time. And I'd love to sort of see the Calgary members, to get diversity of perspectives and insights, which I think is very valuable, Bridget. So.
Yeah, I just jumped back on. I'd love any of the feedback sent to me if you wouldn't mind. We've gotten a bit of informal anecdotal feedback. Amber's running polls on LinkedIn. We are considering experimenting with the time and moving it to after business hours so that folks who can't get away for the lunch hour can join, and just seeing how that goes. But the other comment I was going to make is that there is a fantastically attended event and fantastically ran event every Thursday night called Tech Thursday. Neo and others, but primarily Neo are the organizers there. I strongly encourage everyone to check it out. It is really, really valuable content and experts in that room. So it's usually downtown near and around Stephen Ave, if you haven't. But we would like feedback on in-person and virtual. I'll tell you that the feedback we've collected in the past is always so split 50-50 that we really can't make everyone happy. Our friends in Edmonton Rainforest are looking to lean more on our virtual event so that they can be plugged in that way and stop running their monthly event because they're not having good attendance up in Edmonton. And so with all that said, I encourage you to send us feedback. I'm not going to do a formal survey because I will be hassling you all for the scorecard and before you know it. And I don't want to take away from that survey because it's of its importance. But we will be looking at things differently. So thank you, Taylor. I think she had to jump off. But the UCeed gang, I think they're all gone now, and everyone for sticking around. And please send me that feedback over Slack or email or however you prefer. We'd love to just take it all into consideration as we design 2024.
Good job doing Rainforest on the road.
The Rainforest from the car. It's actually, other than that last glitch, pretty straightforward.